Look at the crane game. Like, going out there, like you got all those like plushies around the
Oh,
map.
yeah.
Like there should be some down here, so it's like.
No, I love the crane game.
I do too, dude.
It's so good.
I'm so bad at it though, but
Oh, really?
it's a
I used
great
to be
date
really
material.
bad.
Oh.
You learn these techniques if you're really desperate like me, and then you start to improve, and then you go down this rabbit hole of playing online crane games that send you plushies if you win them. That was my hobby for a while.
There's online ones? Okay, see, I didn't know this.
now
you've opened up a whole new world for me, Choba.
Yeah, watch out. It's a deep rabbit hole. It's hard to get back out from.
Well, both of these teams historically not great on their pistol rounds. Vision Striker is notoriously bad. RB's already pushed to the bottom of the tube. You've got a 3-man stack towards B right now. Xe might be pushing out. You have the Poison Cloud in its typical spot at the end of that container. RB's all the way in, and somebody's in spawn waiting for him, but RB's going to win that duel with TS.
TS, I don't really like it. He really had nowhere to go if you're center of spawn. There's no really place to hide or to try to move your position to get a better peek. So he will go down. Now that's one small advantage for Vision Strikers. However, TNL really hasn't committed to anything else yet, so they're just going to reset for a bit. And looking at mid now that RB's been pushed back.
Ooh, yeah, RB took a bit of damage there, so he's going to have to back off for a second. You get the shoulder check from Stax. He's going to wall it off, try to buy some time, but he doesn't quite get it fast enough because they are quickly blasting through it, putting up a wall of their own. Zest going to go down, and the push is on for TNL towards B.
Oh, I really like that reactionary wall from Xe as well, just to secure them the plant. I mean, it's the pistol round, right? At the end of the day, post-plant, it's going to come down to positioning, but Vision Strikers gets 2 more.
Oh, Stax just picked up a third. Echo going to get King here, and it is a 1v3 now. Echo trying to see if he can do it. He's got a ghost, and he's got a chance, isn't able to get the shot. Stax does what he does best and finds the head and the round for Vision Strikers. They're going to take the pistol to kick off Icebox.
Yeah, and again, it all started with RB pushing kind of aggressively down mid. In a round where you're not expecting that much utility, you kind of take that chance, you get the pick, and now it's huge, right? You had to back out, you let them come through mid, but it actually funneled them in. Of course, the wall bought minimal time.
See, there's the plushie.
Oh,
it's not really close to the crane, but I like
Maybe
what our observers are doing.
Maybe you have to like swing it, and you do the little tornado, and then
my God,
swing it out as it goes down.
Is that like a technique? Is this like
I've seen it. I've never succeeded in it.
Oh my goodness. I'm learning so much about crane games.
I'm like really outing myself as a crane game nerd. I'm just like, what do? Do you guys like read books? No. I play the crane game.
I have a lot of quarters in my house. Let's see. RB gonna get up on top of the container. Stax watching the long angle. You can see the dart tries to come out. It does get Stax there. RB sprays through the smoke. Recon drone gonna see him, so that's gonna start sending him back. Gonna get Xe over the top, and he sprays into Ritzy. Dashes out of there. Stax for the heal. Very nicely done by RB.
That's huge. I mean, you take care of Xe, and now Ritzy couldn't push out as confidently. Ritzy also gets taken down, so any sort of advancement from TNL is in trouble. Of course, they're on that eco, right? And Vision Strikers won that first round, and Stax just going to go through, clean up 2 more. The spike is down on top of the crates. Harry, not much you can do here. Maybe you can hope for 1 cheeky kill, but that's about it.
Oh, he does get 1. That's not bad, but Stax going to clean him up with a triple. Very nice hold by RB and Stax. But, I mean, especially when you lose Xe right away and then Ritzy, that's so tough.
Yeah, your composition is not really built to deal with both of them going down so early. But again, that was kind of the eco for TNL. Vision Strikers get the 2 rounds, and now onto this bonus system G where they can keep their weapons, and TNL has to buy rifles. Now this is where it's going to start to matter. TNL, the last time they showed us this comp here on Icebox, they've continually pressured B with that Xe Ritzy combo, right? With the Sage and the Jet. But I think Vision Strikers is ready for RB continuously being aggressive. If he can trade 1 for 1, that shuts down so much momentum against TNL.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is quite effective. I mean, RB is one of the best entry fraggers, and then, how do I say this? Defense entry fraggers, like defender's side, you know, first blood getters in the business here in Korea. So he's really cheeky. He has great spots, great lineups, great crosshair placement. Everybody on Vision Strikers, first of all, has insanely good crosshair placement.
It's actually so cool to see kind of the duo battles here between RB and Stax, and then Xe and Ritzy. I mean, this is a duo battle that really is unique to Korea. These 4 players are so good on their teams. They're one of the best aimers in Korea, and then of course the best technical players in Korea. So Really good to see that usage, but after all that utility coming through, some spray back and forth, RB is going to back out. Now, they're leaving RB, but making sure that they cover mid because the alarm bot spots TS.
Oh, King has an opportunity, but isn't able to land the shots. Stack's going to get out-dueled by TS there as he comes down, so TS takes a bit of damage, but he was ready for it. Heal is available from the Sage, and then he's going to grab the spike as well. So Zest making his way back up the tube. Harry putting out a nano swarm there. I think it's at the bottom of the tube. And then the other members of TNL are pushing through. RB gonna pop his ultimate, get ready here for a potential retake. But Echo is not fooled at all. He heard the updraft and knew exactly where RB wanted to go.
Yeah, you hear the blaze storm as well. So TNL, good call to cover that elevation against that spike plant. They're going to be able to secure it. King does get the kill with the nanoswarms through the container. That feels a little bad, but again, I mean, you should have this spike on lockdown with the members you have alive.
Yeah, this one should be pretty good. You have the gun advantage as well. Of course, Vision Striker is still hanging onto those Spectres from the anti-eco on round number 2. Glow going to get spotted out as well as King, so they know exactly where they are. The shock dart follows up, doesn't catch. Another one lobbed in. Xy's shots are good. The spike continues to tick away. So for King, time to grab a gun and run. There's no point in doing anything. Zest is going to get Xy, but Echo trades him down, and King will escape with a Vandal at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, Zest really wanted to get more than one kill there. Unfortunately, he's only going to take one out on the exit frag, gets traded himself. But TNL, well played, right? They really work with the information they got, and when they were down to 30 seconds, you could have tried to fake to A, but they say, you know what, we can secure that B plant so well and then keep that on lockdown with the utility we have. We've seen it time and time again. The Viper, the Killjoy, the Sage, and then the shock bolts coming in from Sova. You are not approaching that spike.
It makes it so hard to retake. Those post-plant setups that you can do on B are really powerful, and there's a lot of lineups to get as well. TS, speaking of lineups, that was deep.
Oh.
All right, let's see what they're going to do. They're really stacking through mid, but a lot of vision is going to be found on that recon dart. Here comes TNL, though, still trying to push through, but all of the Viper utility is blocking both sides, to be quite fair. Stepping through there is King a bit. Looking, throws a nano swarm, and they've gotten pretty deep in here as TNL. VS not really able to do much about it until then. King gets one, quickly traded. Echo and Xy picking up 2. Now the spike going down at A.
I love that play from TNL, getting rid of kind of the usual, some of the usual default walls coming in from Viper. Ooh, Echo gets one more pick, but that kind of negates the whole thing, right? On A, when there's that toxic screen, you have so many extra corners to check, but you say, you know what, let's just secure a path through mid, and then we just wait till the toxic screen goes down, and then we make our entry, and we get a potential flank against their Viper. Really good choice, and now they have a 4-2 man advantage. As Vision Striker's just looking to save here. They don't want to risk anything. It's too hard to get back into that site with only 2 members.
Yeah, I think this was such an unique play that you don't see very much. The Vision Strikers, even though they got kind of wind of it pretty early with that recon, they had no idea what to do. They were just like, okay. Like,
yeah, I mean, you're rarely prepped to just spray down on mid with multiple people, right? So they secure, one side with a toxic screen. They also use the Sage Wall under tube. I mean, that was a huge commitment. If Vision Strikers had any inkling that was going to happen, TNL was in trouble, but they get the right read. TNL says they're not going to be prepared for this on a 4th round. That secures yet another win, tied 2-2 now between these two teams.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting start here. Vision Strikers got a very important pistol win, and the follow-up. That's proving to be quite monumental as we get into the rifle rounds. Things are a little bit more difficult. What a peek around the corner by Echo. That was fast.
That was so quick.
My word.
We've seen that mess up a couple times today from other teams as well. You can't turn around too fast, but he'll get it up in time. Now that will help signify, though, that they're not making any push towards mid. It's just kind of there to buy some extra space. You do have to pay attention to when that poison cloud goes down, but Vision Striker's not biting. It is going to tell King to maybe cover the tube, so he's up in kitchen when we look at the map. Now TNL, they will secure the orb. Are they going to continue progressing? They want to check around yellow.
Well, there goes the toxic screen. There is the counter-toxic screen from Vision Strikers. Wall is up quickly, but the wall got shot through, so they're going to have to throw a smoke to try to help him as well. Glow continues to try to spray to deal with it, but the spike does end up coming down as the walls will slowly run out of toxins. They both drop. Now the site is exposed. Vision Strikers on the defender's side, trying to push forward. RB all the way over in mid there, checking, see if anyone is watching for his lurks. Echo, recon dart time. You can hit one up on the corner there. Get some decent vision potentially, but nobody from Vision Strikers to push. Richie gets zapped, but there's a good nano swarm to back him off for a second. Gets another headshot. Can he find a third? No, King is going to get him. They're going for the defuse. King gets 3 in there. Are they going to find it? No, they are not. It is down with the Hunter's Fury left. Echo also picks up King. There you have it.
Wow, I mean, Stax held it for so long. They were committed, but eventually he goes down. XC kind of chuckling at how that all ended up at the end of the round. But, I mean, that feels bad for Vision Strikers. They took down the Sage Wall as quickly as possible. They were set up to protect their teammates. But, again, there's just so much utility being thrown at you when you go for that defuse. Unless you clear out the key agents, again, Killjoy, Viper, Sova, you can't really have that much time. You have to go in for the kills, and TNL was ready for it. They had, Sage up on the containers there, and you had people around yellow. Really, really well covered. And
TNL's just going to, keep blasting away at B until the Vision Strikers can prove that they can deal with it. And there's a slow to at least buy a little bit of time. That's about all you're getting out of that. They don't last too darn long, and still RB is going back up to that box. He had left it for a couple rounds. Let's see if TNL is able to check it. They're going to spot one out in the back, and yep, RB's not able to get away, so he's going to get taken down. Now Stax, one of the best sheriffs in the business for sure. TS still hanging out in spawn, watching for these lurks, and Harry's going to come with the crossfire, pick off King. And there goes Zest. Things looking good for TNL.
Yep, and now they're just going to rotate over to A. They don't want to deal with Stacks hiding behind yellow. I mean, unless you can strike at the same time, it's not worth the risk. Initially, they went for B, right? It has some more longer sight lines, so you can try to get a longer pick, not take as much damage for the Sheriff. But now when it's only 2 members, they decide, well, we'd rather deal with the toxic screen here. We can just get through it with the recon dart.
Yeah, Glow's running around the back by Raptors, trying to get into some kind of position. TS took a little bit of damage. Ritzy goes down to Glow there. That's at least 1 here for the Vision Strikers. Stax is coming, trying to assist from screens. Glow trying to peek around the corner. Echo's going to get him. Stax now all alone with a Sheriff and a Dream, and he picks up another gun. Actually, it's going to be the Vandal this time around, but XC's waiting around the corner. It takes him down.
Wow, TNL continue to keep their lead. Now 4-2, and Vision Strikers, I mean, that time it was an eco round with the Sheriffs, but they don't really have a strong answer on B. They're trying some different things, right? They push up with RB. Last time they were ready to take down the Sage Wall, and now they're going to commit an operator here. But at this stage in the game with their economy, they need to win this round. Otherwise, they're just going back to kind of rifles and the Nicos, rifles and the Nicos.
Yeah, this is already starting to feel like a must-win round for Vision Strikers. They just lost 4 in a row. So things, yeah, of course you have that little bonus you get from losing for the money, but at the end of the day, that's not where you want to be. They need to start turning things around. You got the Viper and the Killjoy over on A for Vision Strikers. There's all kinds of poison going down. There's the poison cloud from TNL as they continue to back out because they don't like what they're seeing over there, and they're going to try to go back to A. Now, there is RB with this operator waiting.
Yeah, they haven't scouted that out yet. They have no signs of it other than a potential assumption, and RB will get 1 pick. TNL, though, pushes through. They say, okay, well, he already tailwinded out of there. Let's press the issue.
Look at that one-way smoke to try to catch them peeking. They aren't going to go for it just yet. They need to reorganize, rethink this. They can res, though, and so they do pick up their fallen comrade back up to 5. So we do a little do-si-do back over to A now, as the operator is maybe more scary than a toxin screen.
I would agree. I mean, especially RB's operator, and then it's a jet. You don't have a guarantee you're going to be able to trade for that. However, given the timing, Vision Strikers is on to them. I mean, they'll leave RB kind of going back the long way, keeping the sight line across entire B site, but TNL has to strike now.
Yeah, sight blocked from Belt, so they're going to have to come down and push through the old-fashioned way. A couple up on top of pipes. King's going to get Axie. King gets 2, gets taken down by Harry. TS going to get Glow now. So that's a 2 for 2 so far on the site.
Oh my gosh, 3 people detained.
Oh my goodness, what the world? Zest is coming through and just cleaning them up.
Well, now he's been detained. Harry needs to push him, but now they know where he is.
You see this a lot these days. People are really aggressive on these detained. Spike never ended up getting planted. There just wasn't enough time, and that's going to run out of time. So there you go. That's going to be it. That's a wild round. Vision Strikers find a win?
Wow. I mean, TNL, they were just late for Harry to put down the counter lockdown and then try to go for trades, right? Because then if you get enough trades, I mean, even if you're chained, one person stays back with a spike, you get the plant, you're able to secure the round. But he was about 1.5, maybe 2 seconds late on that, and that gives all the time for VS to say, even if we lose a couple members.
Like, what is going on in here? This is just wild.
Well, it's Viper's Pit, lockdowns, and then the time they know that TNL has to push, even with the lockdown going. Oh, Rizzy tries to get a peek all across every container on the map, but Stax just shoots him down.
Yeah, it doesn't even hit with any of the knives, so that's a bit of a feels bad man there for Ritzy, going for the aggressive early updraft. We saw that last round with our two opponents in Newturn and Go Prince, and they tried that. No one was home for that attempt, and this time Ritzy just not able to find a connection. It's pretty hard to do that, of course, and Stax is somebody that it's tough to do that against. Oh, Glow wasn't even ready for it. Zest trying to come through. TS able to get around the corner in time. Trying to put up some utility, but Zest is not going to allow it. Even though the wall comes up, it does not last very long. Around the corner, double peek. Gonna get him down with Harry. Echo watching for King's position. They're gonna shoot that utility out right away. King gonna get Harry though. Now King gonna have to re-rotate, going up the zip. Keeps himself muffled, so they don't know he's coming. RB with the operator. Up over the wall. Xy's gonna get him. Now RB trying to find an angle. He knows they're underneath rafters, and a res is going to come through for Glow. Gets him through the wall with the headshot.
Wow.
My word, RB.
Okay, well, now you have just Echo. I mean, they know where he is. He's been stuck behind that wall. They even had the snake bite, so he could have moved forward. Oh, they don't check their backs. I think they just assumed he might have walked all the way out. Glow is able to get the kill, though. They'll get the defuse. That was just a bit shocking. I would have assumed, especially after that snake bite, that you knew that he was still cornered there. Just a little bit lax from Vision Strikers, but they will get the defuse eventually.
Yeah, it's a small mistake, but at the end of the day, you still get the win. You're keeping most of your guns. You're keeping the operator. You're at least able to pick that up for RB, put it back into his hands, and try to continue to move along. It's 2 in a row now for Vision Strikers. We're back to 4-4. A nice little round for them on the defense.
Yeah, now Glow and King, they were a little bit lower, so Glow's actually going to have to go for the judge. King is going to eventually be able to pick up a Phantom there for himself. So, not the end of the world. Glow is going to have to play a bit safer. He's actually just going to use his Viper's Pit on A. So now they can really just focus on mid and B, leave Glow to his own methods with the judge.
Yeah, this time they know the operator's there, so a lot of smokes and other utility being used, but Zest has a great angle into B. He's gonna get Echo with the Hunter's Fury. RB now moves on top of the yellow container, waiting to see if anybody tries to move over into Cubby. He's gonna get Xy, immediately dashes out. Fantastic work with the operator here in the last couple rounds by RB.
Yeah, and RB, when he was backing up, he used his Cloudburst on the recon dart so he could get up onto yellow safely. RB almost gets a shot onto Ritzy as well. Now he's just taking a couple pokes through the toxic screen.
Yeah, those are those spidey senses, as I like to call them in esports, when you just like kind of know somebody's there. Speaking of, King's ready for the wall to go down. Gonna get traded out by Harry, but from the back is Stax. As always, one of the last ones to come through for the Vision Strikers. Doesn't really need to be, but he just tends to be in this situation. Sometimes like Stax seems to be that last one alive for Vision Strikers to come up with the big clutches, but he's often just waiting in the wings kind of to follow up off his teammates.
Yeah, I mean, you can really trust RB to open up some kills for you. No reason to go extra aggressive, especially when you're playing that Sage, right? You got to be careful with your positioning. But really good openers from RB, and of course Zest getting the kill with Hunter's Fury as well. That kind of kept TNL locked in. The Viper's Pit was on A, even though TNL didn't approach. Vision Strikers had all the information they needed. TNL needs to switch things up, and they plan to do so. Looks like a push-up mid.
Yep, and the Toxic Cloud is going to be used there on one side. They're going to check Kitchen, continue to push forward. Ritzy going to be on the front as the Jet. There's a trade up in the top. Echo gets King. Now around the corner. Nope. Xy says no, sir, Glow. Xy still waiting in the back, seeing if anyone's going to come through. Moves on up to Kitchen here. And there's nobody coming up the stairs just yet. TS at the top of 2. And this is going to be a tricky one now for Vision Strikers. Oh, especially with that. Stax get headshot by TS. Couple more at the bottom of the stairs. Got to be real careful with this operator, but they know he's coming. RB gets him, dashes back, takes a little bit of damage. Xe, though, going to find Zest with a headshot, and now it is all up to RB, but I think he's just probably going to want to try to save this operator if possible.
Oh! Xe took just an extra second to realize RB was there to bring his gun back up, and RB is quick on the trigger. I mean, at this point, I think for TNL, you kind of let him have it. You're not going to take any extra risks. It is unfortunate that you can't take that op away, but RB will stay alive. Good call from TNL on going through that mid, though, right? This is the pace change they needed. They need to break that conditioning on both sides and say, all right, now we're going to kind of reset everything. It's as if we're starting over. The score happens to be tied 5-5 as well. That was a play for Kitchen. They took control. They planted for Kitchen. And now it looks like they might want to kind of fish some plays out in A, which, you know, they've really just been avoiding the Viper, because it works out, because Glow uses the toxic screen early, and that allows TS to just have his own if they strike B, but it might be time to change that up for TNL.
It is kind of interesting because, you know, with Glow being on Omen for basically forever, you're asking some new agents to be picked up by him, and maybe there's a little bit of, you know, there's a learning curve with anything like that. So Glow moves up to Pipes here. That's going to be a bit of an unexpected angle. Usually it's like a Jet or a Sage up there making the noise. And now there's the wall in front of him, though, so he can't see the movement, but they're not going to see him either. He steps out, pretty decent timing, gets 2, gets 3!
Oh my gosh, what a play from Glow. Sets up the toxic screen and then hides behind it up on Pipes, just to bait them into walking right in front of him, sprays down 3. A huge play. I mean, TNL thought they were winning the mind games by putting up the toxic screen in mid, but Glow was ready for him.
I mean, that's just Glow doing his homework. He knows a spot where that toxic screen is going to give him a nice little spot to hide, and he strikes at the perfect time. Well coordinated, well executed by the in-game leader for the Vision Strikers. That's going to put them up 6-5. 1 more to go in the half.
Yeah, I mean, this is very back and forth. And just look at this. The screen goes up right in time for the owl drone as well, so they don't even bother checking. You're just like, okay, they're covering this whole half of the site, so they're going to be holding on the right side when we go into attack, and TNL just steps right into a trap. Now, RB still has that operator on B, and TNL is aware of this.
This has been a fantastic operator for RB. He's held on to it for quite some time, really just getting a ton of value out of it. I mean, you know, the operator might be good for a couple rounds, but this has been, I don't know, 4 or 5 now that he's been able to hang on to it. Gets spotted, but that's okay. That's just bait for Stacks as he puts up a wall. Oh, he's getting caught in the cross, though. Good job by TNL to shoot it down quick, take Stacks down.
Yeah, Xe has the resurrection as well. However, they know the operator is still there, so he can't just rush in to get his teammate up. Now they pick up the spike. Are they ready to make a play? Looks like it. They get the wall up. Oh, can he not reach it in time?
Oh,
I don't think he knows exactly where the body. Oh, it's on
too
the
far
other
back.
side.
It's too far back. He can't get to it. It's just out of range there, so that's a bit of a feels bad,
That is
man.
unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, now TNL's going to have to move on without their Jet and see if they can get it done on the entry. You do have Glow and Zest over here waiting. Lockdown is going to be used again. Last time the lockdowns were pretty wild. A lot of players were detained.
Yeah, they all kind of ran in and said, all right, this is our new arena now. But this time, Vision Striker's just going to back out, give them the space. He is going to use a shock bolt, and he gets TS. He gets another! What is going on? Xe rushes in for the res, and now Glow gets TS with a snake bite. Utility at the max here for Vision Strikers.
Hold on, Harry's still alive, but Glow is there on the cross and is going to take him down. That is fantastic work by the Vision Strikers with those lineups. Well done, well placed, well timed. And that's going to give them the 7th win in the half.
What a way to finish that first half. I mean, 3 kills with their abilities. That's massive. They knew that TNL was pressured with the timing. But again, whenever these two teams go up against each other, they know so much about their preferences, their styles, their pacing, that we see this back and forth. It's a lot of mind games being played. And sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. But 7-5, it looks like Vision Strikers is ahead, but it took a lot of rounds back and forth to get there.
It was a really interesting half with 4 wins in a row at one point for TNL, and it started to get kind of a little bit shaky in the knees for Vision Strikers, but they're able to stabilize, come through, swing together a really nice half of the half, if you will. And now they come forward with their attacker side. This is going to be really fascinating. Big time pistol round as always. And Vision Strikers won the first. Can they find 2 in one map? Will lightning strike?
I mean, we'll have to see. It's great that you mentioned that kind of 4-round win streak, because it was 4 and then 4, right? So you see how these teams are playing. They're starting to adapt to each other, and then they stop the bleeding. And then if you get the momentum, you go on. Unfortunately for TNL, once they stopped it, you were already pretty much in the last 2 rounds. So Vision Strikers is able to edge it out. Now Vision Strikers on attack. Looks like they will kind of do what they always do just to get some information. Ooh, trying to catch people off guard and also secure that orb for XC. XC has made great use of that in their previous matches.
Absolutely. It's a lot of utility used, but very worth in the minds of TNL to get that resurrection up and running. I think definitely in this case, the most important ult on the team, so you definitely want to have that available. So RB moves up on top of the containers, just kind of watching around. King is putting up his turret to watch mid, as now the setup seems to be for maybe leave somebody back. We'll see if that's what they're going to do, or if RB's going to kind of rotate into the entry role as they make their way forward.
Yeah, all 5 now have entered towards A. The recon dart goes out, and there's the toxic screen to block off any sort of easy sight lines from the rafters. Stax is actually going to plant it up top here in the middle of the site.
Oh, that's so cheeky.
And the wall as well.
And now you can watch this from way back of the site, so you can really play back on this and just use those ghosts to their full effect, because everybody but Glow is going to be sitting on a ghost right now. So Glow is lurking around pipes. RB gets the first headshot there. Now you got one on top. No, sir. The smoke's not there to cover him. There's another one for Zest here. He's going ham with that ghost, but RB and Zest get taken down. A quick trade again. King trying to keep them busy here. Ritzy's going to outduel him, and that's a triple for Ritzy. Stax still alive, though. They don't know exactly where he is. He taps the spike. Stax can't quite see him. Finally readjusts and gets the kill. Vision Strikers win both pistols on Icebox.
You know, Stax will always be there for you. Never count them out. And Vision Strikers, they did kind of all pile on just to deny that first defuse. I mean, I think they could have just trusted Zest a little bit. He got the kill. They all ran down right up to the spike, so made some easy trades. At the end of the day, Stax just says, you guys can have your little party. I'll stay back. We have the ghost. Cloudburst isn't going to last long enough. And that secures the round. Looks like we'll have a quick pause here to double check some things. But Vision Strikers, now this is good momentum, right? You get the pistol round. You're already in the lead on attack. You get the weapon advantage, and you can continue pressing the issue. You now have the ball on your side of the court. You can condition TNL to start reacting to you round to round.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is such a huge thing for the Vision Strikers to win 2 pistols. That really opens up a lot of space for them, gives them momentum that makes things, even though TNL was able to string together 4 after the first 2, those initial 2 were end up being the difference in that first half for the Vision Strikers. So, and again, a team that historically kind of stinks at at pistol rounds. Like, they admit it, they say it, at every one of their interviews they've ever done, they're like, yeah, we're bad at pistol rounds. We don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, Vision Strikers, when they win, right, and when they're dominant, it's because they send and get so much information, right? It's like they're a server. They just send and receive so much information with the enemy team. And in pistol rounds, you just don't have the creds to get all that utility. So it does make sense when your entire pattern in every single other round is utility-based, that when you don't have that, it doesn't matter how good of an aimer you are, you're working kind of on your back foot.
Exactly. And this is kind of what makes Valorant so unique and so interesting, is the utility that is involved, because it's not available to everyone. It's only specific to the agent that you're using.
Yeah, we were talking about this in the break a little bit, right? It's very different from other games where if one of your players dies, it can have much different impacts from round to round, because maybe your Jet dies, maybe your Sage dies. If your Sentinel dies early, right, that's kind of a site given up. I mean, there's a lot to consider. And I can't help but chuckle, because we just got told that they were checking into RB's mic. But, I mean, quite frankly, RB doesn't speak much, even in interviews. So, I mean, I don't know, Vision Strikers. We'll see how crucial it is. But it looks like it is fixed, so we will be continuing in this map number 1.
Yeah, you're not wrong. RB's a little quiet.
He's a quiet dude.
He's soft-spoken, man. A fantastic Jet player, but he isn't going to oh, he isn't going to vocalize it too much. He's more just kind of there. Also, TS's crosshair bothers me, but I'll leave that alone.
Okay, I wasn't the only one.
See, RB's crosshair is almost identical to mine, so I'm totally fine with that. But we'll see. It is going to be Spectres and a Bulldog. Stack's still sitting on that Ghost. He hitch heads well enough that he's fine with it. Trying to follow up off the recon is RB. Not much to be seen there for it as the members of TNL keep themselves hidden. You can see TS going to be waiting behind the yellow container as Vision Strikers going to keep their movements silent, and well, it's not going to be too confusing with some of that utility coming down. What's going on with the wall up around the corner is RB. Oh, TS gets him. That's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good open there. The spikes should still go down behind the Sage wall. It will be safe for Vision Strikers, but that's already 2 members down on Vision Strikers. TNL now has to go for the retake with just pistols.
Yeah, you can put the turret up around the corner. Sheriff shots can be devastating. Stack's doing a nice job finishing off Ritzy here. Throws a slow orb around in case anybody's trying to peek him. Nope, he just turns right onto the head again. Stack's so good. Glow finishes it off. And that's going to be a 9th round win for the Vision Strikers. So they're able to pick up the anti-eco after winning the pistol on the second half.
Yeah, not bad. Only losing 2 members. Obviously, ideally, you're not losing any, but they still secure it with 3 members up. It's not the end of the world. And TNL, I mean, they really wish they could have done more damage, especially with that open, right? You had the Sheriff on XC as well. If you could have gotten maybe 1 or 2 more kills, that would have been massive. But you know what? It's in the past now. You pick up those rifles. It looks like Bladestorm is going to be ready for Ritzy, so he'll just stick to that. I mean, Stags, look at that, using the slower right away as well, so he has kind of the mental advantage when he's peeking wide around that corner.
He's so good. It's just incredible to watch. Echo right up and over, going to shoot out that wall, but the Striker's already pushing pretty hard through mid towards B. Going to put the slow orb at Echo's feet, but Stax isn't ready for him. Doesn't check the corner. The Nano Swarm is there. It's not good enough. TNL starting to rip apart Vision Strikers. Zest is down. RB pushing through the tunnel here, trying to get in towards the kitchen. Around the corner, catches one, but not able to get the second. Glow and King, only 2 left for Vision Strikers. King is going to find Echo with the Spectre. All the damage you can do here for Vision Strikers is nice. TS gets Glow. Anything else? Nope. TS spins, gets another head. And there you go. That's round number 5. Or 6, excuse me, for TNL.
TNL read that so well. They had the turret prepped to watch mid here in the middle of the map, and they were ready for a potential kitchen push, maybe, you know, to be from middle. They read that like a book. They were prepared in kitchen. Echo, of course, securing some of those early kills, and then XC there to back him up just in case. Super good play from TNL to stop the momentum, bring it back to their side as they had rifles ready, and now they're looking to gain some extra traction.
It definitely felt like Vision Strikers tried to use TNL's own trick against them with that push, and it just, I mean, TNL, like you said, they read it like a book.
Yeah, I mean, they were still also prepared for any other angles as well, right? It was really just the turret. It was just information gathering in mid, but you still had the Killjoy Nano Swarms and the Killjoy watching B, you know, in the traditional kind of sense, close from that container on the site. And now RB looking to get a little aggressive, but not going to find anyone to greet him as we see the rest of TNL all playing pretty far back for B.
Yeah, I like that TNL is kind of seeing if they can maybe bait Vision Strikers in a bit in that direction. They don't give them any information about what's going on, and that's something you really have to do against the Vision Strikers to keep them off balance, is not give them information. Because once Vision Strikers have information, Glow, like you mentioned, able to process it like a server and output it to the rest of his team and get them in great positions. But A is pretty wide open, so we'll see if they can make a push in here work with the Owl Drone coming through. There is going to be the Toxic Screen coming in over there as well, but Vision Strikers re-rotating once again.
Oh, TNL, I think they're kind of preemptively stacking on A after they shut down mid, and they say, okay, well, you know, we heard kind of the jet going off on B, but they didn't push. We denied them vision in mid, so Vision Striker's most likely going to creep into A, but Vision Striker twists it 1 extra time. They're now coming back to B. This Toxic Screen should give you the signal. Now, Ritzy tried to get through it for his Bladestorm, but not going to find a good angle. Has to wait for the rest of his team.
Problem with playing back, though. Oh, Zest. through the poison wall. Gonna get that. Another problem with playing back is that you're late on the rotates. You're late on getting the information. So Vision Striker is able to quickly and pretty effectively get their spike down and get set up. Now, Stacks, a lot of pressure on him behind yellow. RB waiting to see if anybody tries to push. There is a nano swarm there. Popped in case anybody tries to get it. The wall is there though as well. So Vision Striker is gonna have to do something quick. TNL is dismembering them. The defuse is coming through and it is in.
Oh man, Vision Strikers was too lax. They thought they would have all the time to get the sweet, lineups over the containers, over green, through the crane, but the wall comes up and just forces them to come out and duel as the rest of his teammates go forward and challenge Vision Strikers. XC secures the defuse, now 7-9.
You love to see walls like that really just completely befuddle the attacker side where they have no idea what to do with it. They're afraid to shoot through it because they're going to reveal their position. There's no lineups that are easy to get potentially or as easy. So really nicely done by TNL on that retake.
Yeah, well, the greatest thing that they did there was the wall plus the aggression, right? If you just put up the wall and say, hey, we're safe to defuse, then you can get those lineups over, over the sky. But when you start pushing, they say, okay, well, now we can't take the time to line up against these clouds, over the containers. And so Vision Strikers was a bit flustered. Now Vision Strikers looking to take control of mid, and they definitely have it. They've pushed through tube, and RB sitting on top of it as well.
Last time TNL handled this and Harry was in basically the exact same spot. This time he pokes out a little bit sooner, and that's going to kind of, along with the shock dart, make the Vision Strikers rethink that 2 push. And, it didn't go so well the first time, so second time around, it's looking a little scary again. RB up on top gets a little bit of information, does see Echo. He calls it out to the rest of his team that he's there. Now it's Ritzy's turn to grab the operator with the jet. Can he mirror what RB was doing earlier?
We'll have to see. He's just being patient for the time being. Now, Vision Strikers has still contained control as they go over. Elevator up towards the top of mid. They take out Echo, and Stacks once again opening things up here in this 17th round.
How does he keep doing it, man? Those headshots are so clean. That's easy for RB. Harry too focused on something else. Ritzy now in full retreat as Vision Strikers takes control over Orange. Good adjustment on the wall bang there. Gets King. Throws a smoke down to continue his work back low. Gonna have the spike, gonna be planting, but there's a Hunter's Fury. He's gotta be quick, he's gotta be careful. There's a slow orb there as well, and it's gonna get him. Really nicely set up by TNL, and now everybody's falling apart. Stacks tries to come around the side, but Ritzy able to spin and take him down.
TNL looking good on defense against Vision Strikers. I mean, once again, they were prepped for any type of push in mid. Eventually, Echo did go down to the cheeky elevator from Stacks' Sage Wall, but they have to back off, right? They're afraid to kind of push out into the openness of the defender's spawn. So once they back out, Harry's still ready. He buys himself enough time. He gets taken down in kitchen, but Ritzy's, of course, still on the B side as well, far in the back with the operator. Really, really good play.
Now, stonks are up on Icebox. The weather's a bit chilly. Jeez, minus 28.
Wow, that's really
cold.
That's
pretty good. That's like Wisconsin cold where I'm from, man. We get like Russia-type weather out there, and I can tell you guys, it's not pleasant when you throw boiling hot water up in the air and it turns into actual ice. That's scary. Just know that that's rather cold if you're not from anywhere where it ever gets that cold. Let's see what Vision Strikers can do. Speaking of being cold, the last 3 rounds have gone to TNL, so it's been a bit chilly for them.
Yeah, and now TNL, they're playing far back once again, just trying to buy some time. RB not able to land on the container, just dips right behind because of the Owl Drone. Takes it out with his Frenzy.
RB up top, he's just waiting around, gonna dive into the Glow's Viper Pit here, just waiting at the bottom, bouncing around. There is TS above him. Is he going to see him? Pokes his head out, but that's going to reveal his location. Now TS going to get the spot with some help of his teammates. Blast away. Now they're starting to push through, just pre-firing into it. The lockdown is here as well. See what we can get done with this. The lockdown's so effective.
Yeah, I mean, they know the Hunter's Fury is down as well, so they use it on top of the Viper's Pit. Now, Ritzy was still in the corner on Rafters. The Snake Bite comes in just in case someone has already snuck onto the spike right after the lockdown. Vision Strikers doing everything they can to deny any sort of entry. And TNL, this is a great decision. You had 5 members, but you still say they used all their ultimates to buy this time. Give them the round. We'll come back next one.
Yeah, I'm really fine with this safe, cautious play. The Viper's Pit just makes it so challenging to push in there, even though they do get a little information from the Sova. They can't get any kills off of it. They only pick up the one with RB kind of poking his head through the top of the Viper's pit. And there you go. That's going to be a nice one there for the Vision Strikers in a way. But, you know, the problem is TNL's keeping everything. I mean, that didn't cost them any money.
Yeah. No, they just say this is a round already way in favor of Vision Strikers. I think that's a very, very economical call from TNL. I think the only, when something like that happens, Viper's Pit press lockdown, I'm thinking the only play is to actually have 4 of your teammates just stay in Viper's Pit with the lockdown, get detained, and then bait everyone to come in as one person still has their gun up, and you just all stay huddled in one corner, and as they come through, you just get crossfire with like an Odin, and you're like, you're in my trap now, and you mow them down. But other than that, you don't really have much of a choice.
Dude, that's so smart. I would love to see that. All right, RB jumping on top of the tube as he continues to keep pressure on Boiler. Makes it hard for information gathering in that mid section along with the Poison Cloud. King up front, Harry pushing up forward though. In an unexpected position, gets 2. That stacks down as well now. So Vision Strikers continues to try to push through this tube, and it's just not happening.
I don't know what they think they gain from this. The tube is so hard to break through unless you're kind of spending all your utility or rushing in as 5 and just hoping for a trade just to break through Kitchen. Other than that, that is such an advantage for defenders if they're just hanging back, holding an off angle right at that exit into the Kitchen. So once again, they lose both members. I mean, I think the idea was, again, that you'd trade and then you'd be able to keep hold of Kitchen, and now you can go to either site through mid. But it's very interesting. The mid is not that well prioritized by most teams for a reason. Vision Strikers holds it in high value.
Yeah, with Harry here in the alarm bot, the smoke is going to allow them to cross. Ness drops down, RB on the top, but there is bad news bears for them. Ritzy gets Glow, and in the end, it is going to be the 9th round for TNL, 10-9. This one is close, a nail biter for both of these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And stop making the snowmen, all right? Whoever's making them, stop it. Go to Breeze, take a break.
No.
You don't want to go to Breeze? Breeze is beautiful.
Oh, I like Breeze, but there's a
the no.
Yeah,
no, and then
no
they
snowman.
just put another snowman.
Just to emphasize, like...
Listen, if you're that guy that puts that post-it with the snowman, don't do that in the office, right?
I feel like it should be like the circle with the line through it on the snowman. Just to really emphasize, no snowman. All right, Ritzy pushes up to Pipes, doesn't take the shot at the turret, but now that it sees him, he has to, so gonna shoot it and then move back. So that's gonna alert Vision Strikers to the presence of the operator. But right now, seems like they're not really keen on trying to make any kind of aggressive push.
Yeah, I mean, RB is just trying to hold an angle here with his own operator as well on B. Of course, on attack, but he is on the Jet, and they have that Poison Cloud to kind of use to their advantage. So Vision Strikers, I mean, they heard the operator on A, but they're going to take this slow because you don't know exactly what's prepared here from TNL. Poison Cloud activated once again, so RB has some of his vision clouded.
My question is what is Vision Strikers' response going to be to that wall and the aggressiveness off of it, like you were pointing out on the retake attempt, if it even comes to that for TNL, like if they're able to get themselves in that situation. TS has to wait on the backside, just outside of the Nano Swarm as Stacks, but Echo gonna get him with the shock dart. RB with a Marshall, trying to wait for this poison wall to come down, but that's the defender's poison wall there. Going up top is Harry, missing the shot, hits him, but doesn't take him down, tries to go for the no-scope, isn't able to connect, has to dash out into the slow behind Yellow. Gonna try to work the corner. There's the Hunter's Fury from Zest. Gonna land another Marshall shot, but not a headshot, so doesn't get a kill. Time being bought. Diffuse tap 2, quickly down for both teams. Glow around the corner, picks up 2, gets the 3rd, and Vision Strikers take their 11th round.
Glow making the right choice to swing right around as everyone's been focused on the B main hallways. And good play. I mean, with that Marshall you bought, so even if you weren't getting headshots, you bought so much time for your team to reposition for that post plant. Even got the lockdown as well with the Marshall as he was making his exit. So really high value.
It was, I mean, that just goes to show you how good RB is. Even if it's not an operator, he's still able to put a lot of work in and, like you said, buy time and space for his team to come in and do their thing. And Glow picking up a big one there. Vision Strikers 2 rounds away from taking TNL and taking Icebox for themselves. Then we have Ascent coming up next. Ritzy whiffs on the flick.
Okay, he is going to get back just in time. Nexi was there to cover his exit, give him the heal, so he's able to be okay. He's topped off. Still has some of his armor left as well. Now, Vision Strikers, they didn't like that kind of aggression from TNL. That gives them a chance to reposition. And making the correct read here that there's not going to be as much investment on A.
Yeah, with him pushing up like that, that kind of leads them to believe that something's a little askew from the normal default TNL defensive positions. Up over the top is King. There is the defender's Poisons coming out to try to slow things up a bit. Some shots being traded, a little bit of damage done to King in the midst of everything. Exy trying to work around TS up on Raptors. Viper's Pit is here again after Glow picks up that triple. Coming down, and Exy not really able to connect. Zest gonna get that. King gets Echo. Zest continues to watch the corner here. There is a smoke in his face. He's gonna push up. He's got the operator next to him, but he's not ready. Ritzy gonna take him down the turret. Gonna reveal Ritzy's location. He can't get out. He's slowed by multiple things. Has to use an updraft to get up and over. Ooh, TS almost hits the head there. In fact, that turret gonna get Ritzy here. TS takes a bunch of damage from the Viper's Pit. Doesn't feel like he's doing much. RB is gonna get 2 headshots. And there you go. 1 win away. And the Vision Strikers will find a win on Icebox.
That is the most valuable turret I've ever seen, Paper Thin. I mean, he keeps him locked in, and then he tries to peek back over, and it eventually finishes him off. That does not feel great. And Vision Strikers, again, they made the right call. Like we were talking about Paper Thin, when you see Ritzy up that far with the operator, you got to assume XC's behind him. Killjoy's been playing kind of kitchen and B, so you say, okay, well, you might have Killjoy back on A, but the utility's probably on B. Made the right choice to go in. The wall put up to kind of deny any sort of other lineups. The Shockbolts came in, delayed the spike plant for, you know, a couple of seconds, but they eventually get it down with the Viper's Pit.
Yeah, right there is just, you know, a battle of wits, and that time Glow's going to come out ahead. He had the Viper's Pit as well, which has proven to be a near impossible nut to crack for TNL on that A side. They really haven't found much success with it, so kind of looking to maybe change their fortunes, but this is typical Vision Strikers things. They're waiting you out, again, looking for information, but look how far forward on the B side TNL is.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of stacked both of their, you know, the Viper and the Killjoy on A, and they pushed out far onto B, trying to get a kill, especially with this Blade Storm. Not going to find anyone yet. Now, you see this interesting Toxic screen come out, and you got to imagine it's a push-up mid. TNL tried something similar to success on their side. TS is ready for him, though. He trades for 1.
Oh, Harry gets RB, though. RB tried to get ahead of the situation. Really wasn't able to fool too many people. So even with this wall here, TNL can still get on that ramp and get over it. Now Stax has gotten to the site. Echo gonna try to go for the shock bolt onto him. Just misplaced. Second one as well. Doesn't get the kill. It does get a bunch of damage onto Stax, who is super hurt. Doesn't have his heal up. Already used it. Rez not really gonna be able to find it. Oh, dash around the corner. Zest with a little help here. Stax so confident. Pushes up to try to go for the fight. Would really like an opportunity to either get a heal or something. Glow here try to go for some kind of lineup. They should be aggressive on this Viper to try to deal with this, and Glow does get one, but Echo's going to finish the job. There's plenty of time for the defuse.
Yep, just going to step onto it as it's about to disappear. Take a little bit of damage, no big deal. I mean, TNL almost made a big mistake when they weren't able to find Stacks right on the corner, but they had enough players to get through. And it's a bit unfortunate that RB kind of got caught away from his team with that Sage wall as it came up to, he dashed a bit too far as Stacks puts it up, and then he's kind of in no man's land. And I think if RB was there, things could have been different, 1 extra person.
Yeah, RB's just stuck in no man's land out there, so that's a little bit of a, I don't know if it's a mistake, but something that didn't work out well for the Vision Strikers in that situation. Hard to say exactly. I don't think they meant to block RB.
Well, it definitely, I couldn't have been intended. Just leave him out in the open with no cover.
Sometimes I never know with these pros, man. Sometimes they have crazy ideas. I'm like, all right, you guys meant to do that? Okay.
I think RB wanted to scout out just a bit further ahead, and the timing doesn't work out now. TS is going to preemptively use the Viper's Pit to kind of shut down A site, right? It's out of commission for this round.
Oh, no.
Oh, and Ritzy gets an open against RB on B. TNL looking good for this round. They just need 2 more to take this to overtime.
Yeah, okay, Stax does have res available, though, so at least there is that. RB does pick up his gun, no armor, though. Does have his Blade Storm available, although with the way things are economically, you're not really going to find many opportunities for it. Exy does have a res and a Guardian over on the other side. TS with the Viper Pit. Echo has the Hunter's Fury. now they're going to see RB do that, so that's not going to be too confusing. But RB is going to get the headshot onto Echo. Oh no, he tries to play off his own drone. Isn't able to make it go. Exy here, going to be watching mid. Thought about the wall for a second, opts to not go for it. Harry leaving the kitchen.
Oh, and this is such a smart play from Vision Strikers. It negates the entire Viper's pit. They see it, but they don't care. They can still get the plant, and now TS is trapped in his own world. King shuts him down, and that's an entire ultimate negated. TNL thought that Site A was all theirs. As Stack stays back, he's going to get 2 for free.
Oh no, they had no idea. Echo does land the Hunter's Fury onto Zest, but 3 up for Vision Strikers. 1 detained out of this. It's going to be Exy, but he's pretty far back. Stacks finds Harry on the side, and there he goes. That's the 4th kill for Vision Strikers.
I don't know why I didn't notice this before, but Vision Strikers are all sporting their Regional Masters Champions titles on their player cards, so it shows up every time in the loading screen. That is a message to send to your opponents every match.
I would do that too. I would absolutely be sporting that 100%. Well, they 100% deserved it, and this one's going to be quite interesting. With both Astras being out there, I think it's going to be a lot of mind games going on here, but for Glow, he's pretty new on the Astra, and with Stax being on Phoenix, I mean, I have no doubt that Stax is good no matter what he pulls out.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of talk about it themselves as well for Vision Strikers. They admit that Stax is just so good with some of these technical agents that require a lot more microplay and a lot more quick decision-making. He's very, very good on those split-second choices. So it's no big surprise to see him play this Phoenix. Now, TNL, of course, foregoing some of the more traditional entries in Raze and Jet, only having the Phoenix for their duelist. So we'll see how that pays off on offense. It might be a play also to try to get some extra rounds here in defense along with that Sage.
Well, I worry about Vision Strikers on pistol rounds because they do interesting stuff sometimes. Oh, there's 2. Around the corner is the curveball. A lot of flashes, and RB is going to pick up 2 along the way. Zest picks up Exy, and that was fast and easy. TS around the corner. Stax is there to turn on him, put a bullet in his head, and that is going to be yet again another pistol round going to the Vision Strikers.
Yeah, I see what TNL wanted to do. I think they were caught off guard with Vision Strikers being right there in front of them across mid.
Weird. Both teams are doing weird stuff.
I mean, that's not how either of these teams usually play, especially in the pistol round.
Yeah.
I think TNL wanted to switch things up, maybe make this kind of aggressive push in mid. They didn't see any movement in A. So in theory, it was a good choice. It's just Vision Strikers, I think, caught them off guard. Exy wasn't able to get the quick curveball around, not to get that advantage. They just get picked off. So now they have to take this second round with just their pistols or their secondaries. Harry's actually going to have that shorty prepped on A site.
Got to be careful with that. Now King's got to back up. Revealed himself with the shots, even though the bolt didn't necessarily catch him. Turret on top of the little shop there. And it's going to get taken out. But I think in that last round, I think what happened is a lot of times Vision Strikers will just rush on a pistol round.
That is true.
And I think TNL was like trying to get behind them,
yes.
And that's my best guess.
Yeah, and the Vision Strikers actually went from A, like rotated all the way to B, and it gave them enough time. Works out for Vision Strikers now. They are going to make their way into A site, and TNL just happily going to back off, wait for the rest of their teammates, go for a 5v5 retake.
All right, well, RB going to be watching. Evan from the box. Shark Darts not going to connect just yet. For TNL, there goes a Hot Hands, and there's a dart up top. That Hot Hands lands right onto Stax, but RB ready, gets ritzy with the spray down. Thinking about popping back up for another, but he's got to be careful. There is that wall there. Now the smoke as well is going to give him the ability to get on up there, and oh my word, he could just pick up a bunch with a little help from Stax and King. Quick and efficient, a flawless for the Vision Strikers.
I love how Army thought his teammates had already finished off the round. He pulls out his knife half a second early, and then he kind of freaks out, but his teammates are able to finish off the enemies for him. He's just like, oh, of course he would have gotten the person who dropped down. He just tries to rush forward, almost gets picked off at the end, but Vision Strikers, 2 clean rounds for them, and now TNL with the rifles. How are they going to position themselves? It looks like we've got Exy over on A along with Ritzy. I mean, they're kind of a duo. They always work in pairs. They'll always have agents that supplement each other as well.
Well, on Icebox, the third round in the half always went to TNL. So let's see if they can get it done both times. So this is their moment, and Stax tries to get pulled in there. is able to escape successfully. One thing to note, I think that maybe if you're a new viewer to Valorant and you know a little bit about this, Astra's nebulas, they are slightly different. You can tell them apart who's used them based on the outline of the nebula. For example, that one at the door has a yellow outline. That's a defender's nebula. Red outline for the attackers. But Stack's going to get pulled in by that gravity well. Run it back is gone, but Glow is there to pick up 2 into market. He's going to get, or actually it's RB taken down by Harry. Stack's going to return the favor onto him. And now B site going to be claimed by the Vision Strikers.
Yeah, really good entry here onto B side. Stacks will eventually go down, but lots of value on that run it back as well, as now it is a 2 versus 3 TNL looking to retake here.
Now this is a tough one, and this is not good for TNL. It's going to take some crazy good shooting. They're going to use that drone around the corner. I like it. They don't even really push it forward too much, trying to figure out which side they're going to come from. Now they know for sure they're coming from the right. You get the dart in there as well, try to spray through the wall, but Exy going to get Zest. Glow really trying to hold this. It's about buying time in some ways. King gets one. Up to Glow. The spike is tapped by Exy. Oh no! Glow thinks he might be coming around this side. He's waiting. He can just keep buying time. A little do-si-do here. Good movement by Glow. Don't give him any chance here. Very nicely done. Picks up the kill even, and that is going to be round 3 going to VS.
Oh man, Exy just assumed he might be elsewhere on the site. They thought that Boathouse was clear, so Glow just stays quiet until the last moments, keeps him locked in there with him. And even though everyone gets wiped out by the end, Vision Strikers gets that 3rd win. I mean, really good play. Again, this is what you want to see when you have that Phoenix, right? You secure that early run it back, and then you just use it aggressively, especially on attack. So really good choice from Vision Strikers. They prioritized the ultimate orb. He was able to get out of the gravity well in time. Stax has already used it once. Exy might be looking to try to get an early kill or an orb. He is in mid, so no orbs for him. But if he gets a kill, will he immediately try to position for an ultimate?
RB shoulder checking mid, but right now it's just a crossfire set up the door to Pizza, and nobody from TNL really wants to get out. Of course, I mean it's not the greatest. Echo does have an Ares, which we're seeing Ares today, which even in Korea, a region that loves those light machine guns, at least in pubs, you know, you don't see them too often. You see Odins, of course, because of their ability to spray through walls and such, especially on this map. But the Ares is a really interesting pick.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams are starting to get that when you kind of have, you know, Astra and a lot of these other agents that cause a lot more smokes, a lot more confusion. If you're kind of going on this medium buy, go for the Ares to try to spray through. Echo does reveal himself with that spray, and Stax is going to answer in turn.
Stax is Stax. He just knew right where he was going to be. RB comes up and picks up 2. There's the 3rd for RB.
Wow. I mean, Vision Strikers is looking in form. I mean, again, when they were kind of shaky in the beginning of Stage 2, it was a multitude of things, right? They were on their back foot in terms of meta, so they had to deal with these picks that they weren't used to playing against, and therefore their aim also seemed to be not as good as it used to be. I mean, still great, but not as dominating. But now that they have the confidence, you see them taking these challenges, pushing through those smokes, taking those jumps, because they know they can win. They know they have each other's backs.
Yeah, a game like Valorant requires so much focus, and if there's a little bit of a negative thought in the back of your mind, it can affect your shooting. It can affect your concentration. And that, yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think you've nailed something a little bit there with the Vision Strikers, that we didn't see that crisp cleanness that we're so, even with their high headshot percentage, it still wasn't as efficient as we're used to seeing from them.
Yes. And they knew, you could tell that they felt it, right? They weren't being as aggressive. They weren't pushing corners. They weren't pushing smokes. Now the typical recon bolt coming out and being main. It will get taken down, so no massive spray with the Odin.
Yeah, really wanting it, and I think that, you know, the Vision Strikers now kind of readjusting, rethinking things, and going back towards A again. And they are going to check Heaven. There is one there. You have Ritzy, who has put the wall up. I'm not used to seeing Sage Walls on Ascent. Quickly taken down. Smokes from both sides coming through. A gravity well in the back, but it's not going to find Ritzy. He pushes forward into the jet smokes. Going to take out the run it back, but that doesn't matter because RB is there to trade. But TS on the backside. RB going to pick up another. He looks to try to work over here. There's the run it back. Oh, he dashes forward right into Harry's gun. Oh no, a bit of a misplay there from RB.
Yeah, and Exy now back in guard in Garden, trying to get a kill. King will pick him off. King. Is he going to push all the way through?
Oh, the shock dart from Echo gets stacks, and then he finishes it off with the Odin. So finally, TNL able to get on the board after suffering losses in the first 4 rounds on Ascent.
Yeah, it's been a little rough, but it was good patience and then good use of that run it back from Xe. Of course, we saw it from Stax as well. I mean, Stax already twice now, but I like the early Sage Wall from Ritzy. You looked at the time, no movement on B. They shot the dart without being revealed at all, so you know they're not all stacked in B main. So he just says, all right, I'm going to set up this wall, take it all the way back. They had the extra gravity wall to buy time once the wall goes down. A good setup from TNL. They were ready for the retake. Run it back secures an extra kill, and now they put a win on the board.
All right, well, Echo's only one away from the Hunter's Fury. Even though King has the lockdown, Harry does as well. So there's quite a bit of counterplay. 2 Vision Strikers lockdown if they opt to go for it. Glow does have the Cosmic Divide, though. So I'm really curious to see what Glow's thought process is going to be with the Cosmic Divide. Is it, if they go to B, is it going to be kind of that standard through Lumber Cosmic Divide? Will we see maybe something a little bit more towards the market side with it? I've seen that as well. Really curious because I think, you know, of course, Glow one of the best in Korea when it comes to the mental game of Valorant.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he is called kind of the mastermind in Korea for a good reason. All the opponents also respecting that, you know, the power that he has on this team and commanding that squad of great players on Vision Strikers. Echo still just waiting for any movement, noise, anything. So tempting when we're watching it. I know. Observer. Oh, he goes, but he actually shoots all the way through everyone. And there is a Nova post to push him back. Yeah, you play some pin the tail on the donkey there, and this time around you're not finding any connections. The lockdown is in, and there is a trade. Echo does get Zest, but King gonna get him as they push deep into the site. Harry's in the back waiting. TS is gonna pick one along the way. Ritzy here throwing the slow orb towards the door. There is that Cosmic Divide, but the Vision Strikers are going to use this to rotate to A. I really like this maneuver. Yeah, it almost seems kind of too preempt. He's actually just coincidentally finding the small gap in between both Cosmic Divides. That's a lot of purple. But TNL, I think their own Cosmic Divide was a little too early. Stax. Curveball, gonna get one, can he get the other? Yes, he does! Goodness, Stax. Oh man, but they kind of took the assumption correctly that they would still be stuck in B with the timing. TNL, I mean, the Cosmic Divides, both of them, of course, kind of layered together, kind of threw them off guard. They were like, well, we don't hear them, and they're running out of time, so they must be waiting to come back into B. But Vision Strikers, it was close, but it was a very good call right at the end of the round. I mean, it just goes to show you how good that internal timer inside of the heads of that team is, and they just nail it, and then there's Stax who... yeah, you said it well earlier. It doesn't matter what he plays. He's just so darn good at these technical agents. And then in that case, he gets a great curveball around the corner, gets 2 flashes, and then has a great spray transfer. Yeah, and he's, again, only 1 away. So while he wants this ultimate orb, he doesn't want to get baited in by TNL. If they're keeping good track of it with those kills, they know he's close, so he doesn't want to just rush in. In fact, the entire team of Vision Strikers coming now. Xe is in Wine. They haven't covered Wine yet. There's a Dissipate. A little bit of bait, yeah, with the Nebulas there. They are going to see him. Now he's in trouble because they know he is there. Even dart into that, and yep, Stack's going to take them down. Stack's got to be careful, though. Ritzy did come around and headshot RB there. Get a curveball around the corner again. Gets 2, but only able to find 1 kill. Glow follows up very nicely. King going to be on heaven duty. Harry's taking a bunch of damage from that Nano Swarm. Finds 1 headshot, but that isn't enough with that classic. King gonna go for the plant after getting the finish. This attacking half going extremely well for VS. I mean, this is, to be fair, this is what Vision Strikers versus TNL used to look like, right? I mean, Vision Strikers, it doesn't matter how well they're playing elsewhere, they just go absolutely superpower mode against TNL because they know them so well. And quite frankly, I think we're starting to see TNL get a little bit shaken. When you leave Xe in there with no backup, no other plan, and if they were to scout that with any piece of utility, you're in no man's land, that's a tough choice. Exactly. It is just crazy how well the Vision Strikers can read TNL, how good of a handle they have on what they want to do, and I think definitely part of that is just, you know, being together for so long. You really learn
player tendencies and thought patterns.
That is absolutely true. Of course, they haven't had a change coming into this, to this game. So they've been together for so long. The communication must be crisp, clean compared to a lot of these other Korean teams who are still trying to find the right combinations. And we've seen upgrades coming into stage 2. I mean, Korea's definitely improved as a whole region, but Vision Strikers seems to be still just half a step ahead as we look at them trying to make this attack once again in round 8. Has control of Courtyard, not so much into market, but the door is closed, so they're in no rush to go that far.
Yeah, and the ult economy is really good here for the Vision Strikers. A lot of different abilities available to be used. Just kind of depends on if they can find the right situations. Still sitting on the lockdown is King, but there is the Hunter's Fury for Echo, so you got to be pretty careful with that.
Oh.
Stax is just too good, man. He is, even as an entry fragger, he's nuts!
Oh my gosh, and that's huge value on the run it back. 2 kills and clearing out that entire side of the map, and now they have control of Heaven. Glow comes in from behind, takes out Harry. Vision Strikers is looking unstoppable right now.
I mean, this just almost feels like TNL is just completely broken. They have no answers. They're not looking in the right spots. I mean, Stax, don't get me wrong, Stax I still think is the best player in Korea. And of course, going up against him is tough. When he does this crap, he's just insane. Can he get the next one? He does! The 4th and a flawless. Stax, stop!
Oh my god.
It's not fair.
Stax must be having so much fun right now. He's like, yes, I can do whatever I want. Full power, Stax Unleashed. He's just going rampant. I mean, he gets 2 extra points there. They've been feeding him these ultimate orbs. But here's the thing, though. If you want to play Phoenix, you have to play around Phoenix, right? You have to give all your resources to that agent, because what they can do alone, especially when you're an aimer like Stax, is so massive.
It's just amazing how Stax can just slot into any role, and I mean, his hot hands is just on point, and he follows it up to get the finish. He nails headshots. He's just absolutely positively insane. Now Ares again for Echo, as we are on the eco round here for TNL. I guess a little bit of a buy of sorts, but no armor to be found for Echo behind that Ares.
And Vision Strikers once again kind of playing for courtyard control. Might make some peeks here into Pizza. We'll see if they make that choice. Aldrone going to lead the way for Stax, and they are going to spot TS, so they give up on it.
Yeah, now we're back to that market strategy. We haven't seen this yet from the Vision Strikers. This is kind of their normal play, and now they're kind of diverting back to it on the attacker side. So nice to see. RB gets the first one behind the box here as he pushes in, has to check the backside of it. Now he knows he's there for sure. Glow with the crossfire, going to take down Harry. TS finds one, but quickly taken down by King in exchange. 2 left for TNL, Exy and Ritzy. Not a lot they can do, feels like. I mean, Vision Strikers just has a complete domination on this. King picks up the 3rd. My word, this is a one-sided half so far. I mean, there's only 3 rounds left, and this could be very, very difficult for TNL. You can see Exy is trying to get his team fired up.
Yeah, you need to. And TNL in the past, they used to be known as this very emotional team, right? If they start losing, they go down this really, really steep slope. They're just rolling out of control. And with Harry coming in, when they're winning, it's actually been a great boon. But once again, we're seeing them not able to really regroup and stay in the game. So Exy doing what he can. They still have some utility to work with. They still have that Hunter's Fury. They have the res from Ritzy. They can play around these ultimates. Unfortunately, Vision Strikers, they've only ever had to use 1 ultimate per round maximum.
It's just amazing. I mean, the Vision Strikers are just sometimes winning so quickly and so efficiently. You're absolutely right. There's no need to use these ultimates. Yeah. I mean, they can just hang on to them for kind of like last-ditch efforts in a round.
Exactly. I mean, quite frankly, if Stax continues to play like this, they can just wait for run it back every time and just save their ultimates for like massive post plants when they're down 1v4, right? I mean, this is just a dominating performance from that guy. And Vision Strikers once again looking for A, and TNL, they've made a massive mistake. They've pushed out all the way through Cat, but now this site is all Vision Strikers. They have the turret behind them to prevent Lurk as well. So King is now ready, but does he know it's 2 members?
King's the linchpin on this for sure on the defense for Vision Strikers. There's a hot hands here, so he has to step out, and Exy going to displace him. Really nicely done by TNL. Good recognition here. This might be a good opportunity. Glow, I think he's got that Cosmic Divide, but it doesn't matter. Exy's able to find a 3rd here. Exy doing a pretty good job. Zest gonna get 1, though. Exy gonna use the run it back to come through. Stax, of course, What would it be without him finding a kill? And finally, they take him down. It looks like the pep talk worked.
Yeah.
TNL.
I mean, look, even though they kind of had the misread and they pushed all the way out through Cat, what that did was they secured all the information they needed. All 5 members are in site A. We pushed out both side, the mid and the B site, so we know where they are. Now you come through. You had 2 members on that flank, so you're able to take out King. Really well played. And the Cosmic Divide from Glow, it was a good idea, but it was a little late and also just too close to him where he actually muffled his own audio just a tad bit. So unfortunate play. But look at this. Xe and Ritzy as a duo coming in, or actually it's TS, and they were able to clear out Wine, and then he gets his ultimate, so the good run it back to open up the retake for TNL.
Man, King almost killed Xe. Had King killed Xe, this is probably a completely different round.
Oh, absolutely.
4 health left, and he had to run it back as well. Now Stax, I mean, it feels like Stax just permanently has run it back with what he's been doing so far here.
It's insane, but that's what you want when you have a Phoenix, right? You want to play.
Oh,
my!
Ritzy, the collateral gets Stax and King with the push out. Gonna swing that knife back in victory. Well done.
That is huge. If that's not a morale booster for TNL right now, I don't know what is. That has to get them back in the game. That is massive. You shut down not only the Phoenix, but 2 ultimates as well. Now, Vision Strikers, if they want to secure this round, they still have other things to use, but they have to expend it all.
Yeah, this one might be just kind of seeing if they can maybe get some cheeky kills along the way, but there is RB. He's thinking about this, but there is Xe over in Boiler. This is the defender side smoke, so they're ready, but RB is even more ready. Glow gets another. That's 2. Bunch of damage being done. Here comes Honor Fury. RB has to dash ahead, and he is getting tracked by that Hunter's Fury, but he's able to avoid it as he is the Jet, and he is a maneuverable son of a gun.
Oh my, I mean, that kind of extra off angle from RB out of that smoke. Xe was ready for it too, but he was just a tad off on his crosshair placement. RB able to secure that kill. Ritzy is going to use the resurrect. I mean, TNL, they can't risk anything right now, so now they're at a 4v2 numbers advantage.
Yeah, you might as well go for it now. There's only a couple rounds left in the half. Cosmic Divide is separating Glow from that window. So that's a really interesting one here. They're going to have to kind of push onto the site. They have no idea if this is being diffused or not. Really nice Cosmic Divide. Keeps the information completely out of Vision Striker's hands.
Yeah, absolutely. Crucial ultimate coming in from TS. So great play from TNL, and they're looking better and better. They're looking like they're playing like a team. They're using their ultimates, their abilities in the ways they want. And while they are massively down, this momentum is what they need as they try to wrap up this first half. You know, it's going to be a 4-8 even if you win it, but if you're winning the last couple rounds going in and then you can get the pistol round, that's a good momentum booster.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that could very quickly turn things around. An 8-4, it's not great as a defender's half on Ascent, but
I mean, let's be honest, it's pretty bad.
Yeah,
it's
but
pretty,
give yourself a chance.
I mean, listen, they lost all these rounds in the middle, right? If you're able to, again, pick up that energy towards the end and bring it to the pistol round in the second half, I mean, that's just the best shot you have. And for TNL, you're fighting for your tournament lives here. You need to throw everything you have to get yourselves in the game.
You can see Vision Strikers has to respect that operator. They learned the hard way that there is one in the hands of TNL in that previous round. So it's going to be a push through short again, all the way through into Boiler, almost at the door. There is a star on the ground for TNL in the front. It is going to be the gravity well, but Stax is just going to walk right into it. Look how much confidence he has. He just swings through here, even gets some damage in. Going to break the glass, starts pushing forward. The run it back goes away, but it doesn't matter. RB gets it. Zest picks up 2. The site is in the hands of the Vision Strikers.
What was that from RB? He just runs and sprays through the smoke along with his teammates, and they pick up several kills. Harry is going to pick off Stax, but is it going to be enough? It's only 2 members left for TNL.
Well, we've seen the top player for Vision Strikers come through with some big plays already in the half. The King has a lockdown. Xe, can he find something to do here? There it is. They're going to be counter lockdowns, both of them. Going to let them fly, and you can see that one of them is going to get taken down there by a Hunter's Fury. Harry's trying to push forward. King's going to get Xe though. Harry goes down as well, and it doesn't matter. Vision Strikers with a dominant half on Ascent.
Wow, I mean, TNL just had no idea how to stop him for the longest time, and that hurts a lot. I mean, they kind of figured it out at the end, right? They got some clutch wins right at the end of the first half, but too little too late. Vision Strikers ran away on attack, and now they get to sit back on defend, play it slower if they wish. Quite frankly, the way Stax is playing, and he's on the Phoenix, I think they might even kind of aggress onto these ult orbs and try to press the issue before TNL is able to regroup.
I think that's really well put. Really would be, I think, advantageous for TNL. But at this point, I just don't know. It feels out of hand. I mean, 9-3.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I thought 8-4. Then you win. You know, the pistol, the follow up. It's 8-6. Then it's doable.
It's doable. Yeah.
But
now, I mean, yeah, even if you win the pistol in the second, you still have 4 more rounds before you tie it up. But then you're up against the rifles. It gets really iffy. Now, the only thing that can change is if Xy's able to do what Stax did, right? Just go off on that Phoenix, get the early run it back, you know, right off the first 2 rounds, and then start to build that momentum where it's just really the game runs around your own ultimate cycle. And that's what you do when you're winning with Phoenix. We'll see if TNL can get that first win to get the ball rolling.
All right. Let's see. I mean, they had a really good run, did TNL on Icebox, to come back and make it a little bit interesting, at least there towards the end. I mean, it was kind of neck and neck a lot of the way, but they at least put up a little bit of a fight. And we'll see if they've got something in the tank. It'll be a comeback for the ages. They're able to find a way to get Vision Strikers off of Ascent and bring it to a 3rd map, but it's looking incredibly unlikely. Recon Drone gonna lead the way for Xy. Yeah, really trying to get the ball into his hands like you're talking about there.
Yeah, but I mean, Vision Strikers was ready for this. They knew that the ultimate ore was going to be crucial for Xy, so they make sure they're peeking a main. I mean, we saw even King kind of jiggle peeking on B main on the minimap, so they're not giving those up. They can secure the one on A main now if they wish. In fact, they could try to go for it on B, as TNL is still so focused on this A short entry through tree.
Yeah, now it's been spotted. The gravity well there doesn't catch anybody, but it doesn't. Whoops! RB sees TS. TS is like, nah, I'm out. Later, dog. All right, Xy coming in. There is the flash, but right underneath him is Zest, and they have no idea. Zest thought he had him. Ends up getting him in the end with the frenzy, but Ritzy is there to finish the job. TNL is pushed through. King has to slide back, gets Echo in Lumber, then Glow gets TS.
Oh my goodness, it's already falling apart, and it's only the pistol round. I mean, they will get the plant, but it's a 4 versus 2. Vision Strikers trying to go for the retake. Ritzy gets 1, but Stax returns.
1 left in boat, just Harry there. It's going to be taken down. The Vision Strikers find the pistol. They won every single pistol round here so far, and that may well just be every single pistol round of the match.
Yeah, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but because we don't see Phoenix so often in Korea, just as a reminder, Xy going down early means he's not getting any extra points towards his ultimate. So now Vision Strikers has a bit more breathing room. Of course, they've got plenty of kills as well. They have the win. But on top of that, that comeback factor, which Run It Back can really do, has been now shut down for quite some time.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It's really looking very, very difficult for TNL. You know, they just don't have the money to really do much. You can see there that even with a Sheriff, Xy doesn't feel comfortable to put any armor behind it. A lot of classics and a Ghost. And that is it. So Vision Strikers could potentially find a good one, but they do have a good little early usage of utility to force RB back.
Yeah, but RB also, again, this is some good back and forth, right? Vision Striker says, we know you want those ultimate orbs. And so TNL has to invest a lot just to chase him back. And now what are they going to do? They do get the extra point for Xy, but he's still quite some time away from that run it back. Of course, they're still on this eco here in the second round of the half. So a Sheriff for Xy, but not much else.
All right, Echo trying to put the drone to some use. Market going to be occupied by Zest and King. And they make their way. Oh my god, Stax is in the middle. Oh no, this feels potentially bad. Nope, he's just going to, okay, he's going to back up. I thought he might try to flank him there. But TNL doesn't feel comfortable pushing through there. So a good kind of maneuver by Stax in a way. He doesn't end up maybe getting caught in a cross with TNL where there's kind of an odd man situation.
I'm pretty sure if Glow wasn't in his ear, he might have just pushed through all the across to B. I mean, he's really feeling it this map, but making the right call with his teammates to just hang back because there was enough time for TNL to bring it back to A, and now this Cloudburst buys extra time, which forces TNL to start using their utility. It's now been seen.
Ooh, good hot hands right on the back, but Glow's around the corner! He gets 3! There's the finish! It's a flawless for VS. 2 rounds away from moving on to the semifinals.
How does Vision Strikers do it? How does Glow do it? How does he know every time? You hear some of that movement in B, and then they got spotted by the turret, so now you're thinking, all right, we're not rushing in. We've already moved back into B site, so everyone hang back. In fact, Stacks, come back to A, join me in holding this entrance, and they shut down all 5 members immediately. 11-3 lead for Vision Strikers, and TNL, I mean, they are grasping at straws as they come into this rifle round with only a Bulldog. Oh, he is finally going to switch over to that Vandal. Ritzy's going to take the Bulldog.
All right, well, Exy really keen on trying to get that Alt Orb, and the Nano Swarm going to block the way. Finally, looks like they're going to be able to push forward. Stacks has the curveball in hand. He hears the noise, and he gets Exy. He doesn't even get to pick it up. The Vision Strikers have TNL read like a book.
Again, I mean, Vision Strikers knows how they took the advantage on attackers. It was all through that Phoenix in the early rounds. They don't want XC to do the same. They know what he can do when he starts going. And Stacks, of course, is a perfect member to shut down XC against TNL. Vision Strikers now with 1 extra member, 5 versus 4. TNL just looking for a site to even break into. They haven't even gotten a proper peep at some of these sites.
It's just crazy how good Vision Strikers are, how well Stacks is playing in this is just really setting the pace for the rest of the team. Now things get a little more interesting. Slow Orb is out. So a lot of Vision Strikers are kind of bullied in the back. Jumping through, only able to find one is Stacks pretty quickly there. You also get the res onto Exy. I was kind of wondering about that, if Ritzy had the res up yet. He is able to do it, so he's able to find it. So even though with the shaky start, the decent economy in terms of ults is there to give them a chance. Walking right through it is RB. The 11 health takes Ritzy down. Every gun that TNL loses is painful.
Yeah, I mean, they have so many rounds to go that economy is the name of the game here. And even if they were able to get this win, the more chip damage that is done to them, eventually it's going to catch up to them. So Vision Strikers right now just trying to see if they can get some kills. In fact, I think they're just trying to keep them locked in here so they all lose their guns.
I think that's super smart here. The Vision Strikers know the situation. Don't let anybody through. So it's going to be an overstack. Glow gets one. RB gets another. He gets straight out by Harry. But Zest finishes off Harry. Going to grab the gun and run. So for TNL, it's a win, but at what cost, Chobra?
Oh my gosh. I mean, they had to get out of there, right? They had to make a chance. They had to make a run for it. But Vision Strikers knows what they have to do. They're so far ahead. It's okay to give them a round. Eventually, they won't be able to buy guns again. It's going to happen. And so now they continue to lead 7 points. TNL, they can buy back this round most of their weapons, but it's not going to feel good.
I mean, it feels like Vision Strikers is like a medieval doctor. They're just putting leeches on TNL and just sucking them dry. I mean,
I was wondering where that was going to go. I was like, medieval doctor? What? They weren't exactly the greatest at the doctoral program here. We've advanced quite a bit since then, but well, I get it now. I get it. The leeches. All right.
Leeches, my friend. Oh, goodness gracious. Harry
my goodness.
Just gets tagged up and racked. Zest trying to hold down Market. Takes quite a bit of damage himself, so he's going to have to back up. Vision Strikers don't have any ability to heal him, so for him, it is what it is. Stacks just doing Stacks things. The run it back goes down, but Glow is there to trade. RB trying to bottleneck, and this is just terrible. The Market is a killing field.
Yeah, and with Echo, I mean, you kind of have to save, but this is now going to be a match point, so he didn't really have a great choice one way or the other. It was going to feel terrible. And now Vision Strikers already at match point. I mean, they were so back and forth on Icebox, and recently Vision Strikers looked so shaky on Ascent, but now with the Astra and the Phoenix, they are absolutely out of control.
I mean, this just adds to the legend of Vision Strikers and of Stacks and Glow and everybody on this team. RB gets to go back to Jet, kind of one of the players that originally made the Korean Jet meme popular. The RB difference, he is so powerful. But today, the story on Ascent is definitely Stacks. Look at that lineup there. The Astra from Glow.
Oh my goodness.
They still get another orb. I mean, they just will not let these alt orbs be taken. It's just incredible.
It's great to see, because we don't see Phoenix that often. I mean, we've seen orbs being prioritized, but with Phoenix, you have to be really aggressive about it, because that changes the game so much. When you have an extra life and an extra scout with a gun, it is a massive advantage. So to see Vision Strikers not only keep their Phoenix going, but starve Exy, that is massive.
All right, Zest gets a shock dart in there. Waiting around the corner is King. Not able to do much. Quickly, TNL take 2 down. A nice little push. Even though Glow finds Harry, There's still only 3 up for the Vision Strikers. Going to use a wall to cut off the approach in towards B. TNL's TS has a great lurk. I don't think... Oh, nope. Okay, now he sees Glow by. That was really nicely done there by TS. Finds Glow. Now things looking a little bit strange for Vision Strikers. I say that, but... Jeez. Stax and RB are the 2 left. This is disastrous. As those... It looks so good. It was 4-2.
Yeah, I mean, they had a massive advantage. However, the fact that their spike was still in spawn is working out for TNL. I was wondering when someone was going to go pick that up, but TS opened it up, and I think that's why he continued to stay instead of lurking all the way around in case he had to run back and get it himself. Now they're able to get it planted. It is still a 2v2, and they are already in control of the site, so TNL a slight advantage. What can Stax and RB do to try to close out this map and the match for Vision Strikers?
It's really nice adaptation by TNL to a bad situation. What was good to a bad. See if they can get it done. Stax not going to see Ritzy in time. Good smoke allows Ritzy to get that done. Now it's just going to be up to RB. TS takes him down, so TNL does find a win. It was a little bit shaky, but they get it.
Yeah, and I like that Nebula right at the end, because you have to start second-guessing yourself, like, is that for hell for his teammate, or is it because of heaven? Like, right, it kind of covers both sides because it goes through. So good mind games coming from TS does catch Stax off guard. But, I mean, look here, Paper Thin, it's still 7 more wins they need to get for TNL to take it to overtime. This is an absolute Mount Everest to climb for them.
And RB's picked up the operator. He's cheating a little bit, so maybe trying to catch, because he's only going half armor, so trying to catch TNL off guard a bit with this, and that dart is not going to see him at all. Around the corner, doesn't find it. Exy hits a great headshot onto him.
I mean, that is massive, because RB's movement has been really good this match. He's really back in zone for that jet. Now that also gets him the ultimate orb. Exy only 1 point away from that run it back. They're not going to want to use it this round. They want to secure this round and use it next to get an extra win. Zest now hiding in this cubby right outside of that market entrance.
Another star is placed, but he's going to be spotted out. So now TNL wants to get aggressive on that. They're going to throw a wall down, make his exit a little bit more difficult, and Exy is going to get him. There's a curveball out the door as well. Glow finds the headshot into Exy, though. Tries to catch more. Here comes Stax. Glow gets another. All of a sudden, it's a 2v2. Vision Strikers, King and Glow trying to see if they can take this down. TS and Harry still stuck in main, but they have the spike.
Yeah, and Harry, they're not going to do this. Are they really going to? Vision Strikers isn't going to bite. They can't. I mean, they don't even need to. I mean, they just don't. They just wait, right? And you don't hear it going through. Oh, but they get the kill on King. Well, this works out for TNL. The mind game's not exactly. I mean, Vision Strikers, all they had to do was wait for it. But quite frankly, if you get that extra pick through mid, this is a huge advantage. Only Glow left for Vision Strikers. Looks like he still wants to make a play.
All right, 2 into hell is going to be the call for TNL. TS going to be the shots caller on this.
No stars left for Glow.
That's true. Glow doesn't have much that he can do here. I guess he could throw a Cosmic Divide. I don't know. Oh my god. Oh my god! He gets one. Does he know where the other is? This could be it. TS hanging out below. Nice movement by Glow to get behind it. Can he outduel him? He comes around the corner. No, TS gets it in the end. Woo.
Oh my gosh.
Chogra is grabbing his chest, guys. Are you okay, my friend?
I'll get through this. I'll get through this, Paper Thin. I mean, I thought Glow was about to spam through that floor one more time to get a second kill. That would have been insane.
Can you imagine?
I mean, but again, damage done is damage done. However, Vision Strikers now they are on an eco round. They can't continue to just look for chip damage. This momentum is starting to grow for TNL. They have the run it back, the Hunter's Fury, and the Cosmic Divide. And quite frankly, it's against an eco. TNL is going to want to try to save that. So Vision Strikers, I think this is either where you throw a curveball at them, or you just take it slow, do minimal damage, take 1 or 2 members, and just go right away to the next round.
Good shock dart to start the round. It's a little bit of damage. Exy not even going to bother with any kind of drone utility. Throws down the run it back, starts pushing forward, and that's going to be RB using the knives to take that down. Trying to push forward a little bit more, but he does get the reset on the knives anyway. And that is the smoke of TNL. And he has his own there as well. Actually, there's 2 crossing there. So he's just going to be waiting inside of it. You see this a lot with the Astra smokes, where one team will place themselves inside of it, wait for your Astra to dissipate it, and then try to pick up a sneaky kill off of it.
Yeah, well, this time TNL not taking any chance. I mean, they saw that was the Blade Storm. They know that they have to be on an eco, so that's scarier than, you know, mostly pistols on the other side. Stax, is he going to take a peek out of this nebula?
Look at this.
Oh,
He's
no.
so good. He's so darn good. He gets one, curves ball around to try to find another. Pre-fires, but it's not quite good enough. Ritzy does have the revive as well. Glow gets a frenzy kill through the smoke. Around the corner,
no!
a bunch of TNL is going down, but finally they're able to stabilize, get a couple more of VS. It's a 2v2 again. Oh no, King got another one. RB tried to go underneath the door. Harry in a predicament. He does get RB. If King hits this shot, it is it. Vision Strikers will win. Isn't able to find one. He jumps up and over, and with the classic, Harry gets the clutch.
I was okay last round. I'm no longer okay, Paper Thin. All right, this is TNL. They can't take that much damage in a round like that. I mean, it was against an eco. They saw where the Blade Storm was, but Stax knows what he has to do. I mean, that is the greatest kind of outcome for that round other than winning it by chance at the end. Vision Strikers does the damage they need to. Now, everyone will still be able to buy rifles, but TS is now put back on a Guardian. Meanwhile, RB comes up with another operator.
I mean, this is just fantastic. You're right. Even though TNL won, they almost lost, and that's RB gonna move in time that the turret, oh, now it sees somebody else there. So a Astra Nebula gonna go down for TNL. There around the corner is Exy trying to see if somebody's peeking. That's what the Vision Striker's MO has been here, to try to keep him from getting the alt orbs. King is gonna be waiting around, but that is TNL star on the ground, so it's gonna kind of send Vision Strikers packing as they rethink this idea. A shock dart to, just in case somebody's trying to catch them on the exit, so TNL once again is going to make a rotation.
Yep, and now that calls forward some extra stars there on B, just to be prepared for any types of movement. TNL still waiting. They haven't really seen any actions coming out from Vision Strikers, right? Not any utility really committed. They've all been over on B. That looks like we're going to see RB has already shifted over to Cat. He's trying to catch someone in case they want to rotate through mid. Everyone's going to be very careful, though.
I like the change-up from TNL that they're not just going back to A every time. They've been doing that when they've kind of had a re-rotate situation, but this time it is going to, now with all this utility, pretty obvious what's going on, but a Hunter's Fury could catch a lot of them. Exy down, the third one doesn't finish anybody, but a bunch of damage done, and here's Stax around the corner, taking him down. That's two.
Oh, no.
Curveball, the third, the fourth, and the Vision Strikers finish it off with a